Hi, I'm gonna do a video showing how to run a Titanic Adventure Out of Time, which I'm sure everyone really wants to know how to do. So right now I'm showing how I actually get Titanic to work on my computer so that it can be streamed. You can get Titanic to work on your computer in several ways, but in order to stream it, it has to be in a window which OBS or another streaming program can detect. So I use VMware Player, which I think is a really good product, and it's free. So I found that really useful. So I've got excuse me, Windows XP Professional on here, which is the Windows OS that I use. So I'll just boot that up, and we get the very familiar screen of Windows XP booting up. So the second thing that you need, the second hardware piece of software you need to get Titanic to run properly for speed running is this product here. Are you gonna open for me thing? That is not it. Yes. So this virtual clone drive by Elaborate Bytes. So that's also freeware. I think initially they give you so many free uses of actually making ISO files out of discs. So I actually own the Titanic CDs. So that's how I made the original discs. So these are the files here. They're actually IMGs. But when I originally went to do this, they told me to make ISOs. So these files have to be mounted into the virtual drive. I have 3 set up because Muppet Treasure Island requires 3, but Titanic only requires 2. So what this does is it lets you run the game without switching disks, which is really useful. Obviously, but actually physically switching the disk is not very consistent. And if you can avoid it, it's just really great. This takes no time switching disks with the virtual drive, whereas when I was trying to run the game and switch disks, of which this game requires 2 disk switches, even though there's only 2 disks, it took me at least 2 minutes a disk switch. Between actually manually switching the disks and the loading times of the computer trying to detect the disk in the disk drive. So, and the reason that it takes 2 disk switches is because the game's main Titanic build is on disk 1, but the alternate builds, the apartment and the sinking ship, are on disk 2. Anyway, one of those 2. So, are on the other disk anyway. So you start the game on one disk. You don't spend very much time in the apartment. You're immediately asked to switch the disk to the main Titanic build, of which you'll spend most of the time on that disk. And then you switch to the sinking ship disk at the end when the Titanic strikes the iceberg. And it does seem like a little bit annoying. So it's definitely worth skipping that time loss. So I'll just go right into the game. It takes a little while for Titanic to boot up, and she's an old game. 98 maybe. So it likes to contort the VM, so you'll see some flashing. Yeah, right here. It will actually physically change the size of your virtual machine window, and whatever the reason for that is I think one of the reasons this game particularly is really difficult to play on normal computers. It just, on modern, like with modern resolutions, the computers are just like, no, we don't want to conform to what you're asking us to do, and the game is just like, well, then I'm not going to work. But I don't understand these things, so I couldn't tell you why that actually is. But I had a really hard time getting this game to work initially, and some of the programs that allowed it to work were full screen and just would refuse to work with OBS. So even though I did initially get it to run in a playable state, the game refused to be streamed. And the other thing is, if you even slightly modify the box of the virtual machine here, if you even stretch out these boxes or try to make it bigger, you will render the game unplayable. You won't be able to see what you're doing. The graphics will become like neon colored, and there'll be large patches of black in them. Every time you move to a new screen, they'll be black. The whole screen will be black. The menu at the bottom will be black, so you can't. I mean, I haven't memorized, so I can always find the map, and I can always find the life preserver, but you won't be able to find those things if you don't know where they are. When you bring up the menu to quit out of the game, you won't be able to find any of the switches because that screen is entirely black. So you have to just sort of click randomly and try to find the things you're looking for. So, and this is what happens when you try to run the game on a modern computer. It just refuses to run properly. So, and I mean, that's a lot of what happens on other games too. So when I've tried to run, for example, my old Age of Empires, a lot of the graphics were messed up, but I mean, the game was still playable, but this particular game is just completely not playable. So at this point, you would start the timer when you clicked game. Another problem with running the game in I'm just going to turn the volume down a bit here. Another problem with running the game in a virtual machine is that the virtual machine, as you probably know, is a completely separate entity from your computer. I mean, it's running a computer within your computer, so when you run a timer, your timer is running in your computer, not within the virtual machine. That's why this works. That's why I could stream it, but because if you actually try to stream this on your computer, A, OBS, like I said, wouldn't run it, but B, you couldn't run a timer at the same time because the game just takes over your computer like a parasite. So you can't run a timer in the virtual machine, which means you can't use global hotkeys and just smack them while you're playing the game. You have to click outside of your virtual machine to then activate your global hotkeys of your of whatever program you use to run your timer. So for that reason, because the runs are so short, any percent is 903. I'm looking at trying to get it down to sub 9. And the other endings are not much not much slower than that, like 10 minutes, 12, 11 minutes, and those I haven't run very much, so they probably can get cut down. I don't split, I just start time, end time. So the start time for this game is when you press game, but then as soon as you click game, you have to click outside of the screen to start the timer. While you're doing that, the game is starting, so then you have to click back into the VM to get the to then start escaping through the cutscenes. And so that loses a little bit of time. I've thought of putting countdowns onto my timer, but it's kind of inaccurate how fast or slow I can get back into the game, so I just have left it. And if I decide to go, like if I've never gotten picky enough to go back and count it specifically to when I've been engaged again with the game, so so I haven't bothered. Actually, I generally start the timer first and then click game, so I'm actually losing time getting back to the game. The timer is counting down and I'm not actually playing. So, but I haven't personally, I mean, it's not a very competitive game. It's not like it's Ocarina of Time and we're all like 2 seconds, 1 second beating each other's time, like several people. So, I mean, it's only me. The end time is when you are about to get off the ship and the character asks if you'd like to leave with them, and then you say yes. So that's end time. Anyway, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. I thought of something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was, so whatever. It can't be that important. When I do all endings, I start time here. I split at the end of the notebook. So when the notebook closes, because it's a more convenient time to split. I've thought of maybe splitting at the end and then counting the notebook as a split of its own. I don't want the splits to get any more complicated though. But I still split at the end of 100% when the character again asks if you want to get off the ship. So it's the same format in the long run. You start at game, you end at would you like to get off the ship, but the splits in the middle are different. I don't split when they ask me to get off the ship every time. I split at the end of the notebook. And the reason for that is it's kind of a slow period, and having to remember to split, make sure I don't fall asleep between the different runs. So I just find that easier for me. Anyway, so here's how this works. You click game and this starts up. You get the London text, but you can skip through that.
Top stories. London has endured
I'm going to turn the volume down again because this is really loud.
Most damage was concentrated in the East End.
This game is
has struck enemy aerodromes in Le Havre
actually very loud. As you can hear, the radio's going in this. If I let it go, the landlady will knock on the door here, which is something you'll never see in the speedrun. Yeah, here she goes. So here's where you turn the volume down in the game. It's at 7. I could turn it down here quite low. You'll never do this because the only way to access the screen is to play the game. The only way you play the game is to run it, and the only reason you go in here is later on to find out about what maze you're running, so you'll never see the volume screen. She's still yelling at me. So the first thing you have to do here is click the memories book. You can skip through this animation, so that's one trigger to get the bombs to drop on you, which is your first the first thing you want to happen. They want you to look at all this crap, but the only thing you have to look at is this letter of resignation, or I think they fired you, and you have to look at the clock. And then you have to get out of this screen, and you can just click escape. So and then the bomb raid siren start. So this is the entire apartment. There's nothing else here to do. You can spin circles while you wait for the bombs to drop on you. There's 3 cycles of the bomb, you skip through that whole scene, just smash escape. Escape is the button you want to use for all of the cutscene skips. The air raid alarm, I think, does 2 swells. By the 3rd swell, you should be pumping escape to get through it as quickly as possible. Here's the watch again that we just looked at. This is the same watch. Obviously, this one's not broken, so you can see it is whole. So we need to pick up the watch. We need to pick up the bag. You probably should pick up the bag first, but I mean, you can pick it up second. It's just personal preference. Then you walk over and open the door, and this guy's going to talk at you. You can just escape through his entire conversation. If you go to the map, the map is all these decks are attached to a the numbers on your keyboard, or the letters on your keyboard. So A deck is A. I mean, it's intuitive. B deck is B. E deck is E. F deck is F. The only one that's off is boat deck, which is T. So that's where we're going. We're going to the grand staircase right here. So the first thing you're going to notice with the game when you get here is that the movements of this game are totally fucked up. Like, they're not, they're not easy. This game doesn't let you walk through this game in straight lines. It's all zigzags and quarter turns. Like, so we're not even facing straight. Like, I can't move here because the arrow indicates that we can't move forward. So I can pump forward all I want. I can't move. So I have to do and I would call this a quarter turn, because if I just move here, I can move straight. So if I move a quarter, I move straight. If I move again, this is a half turn. So this is the annoyance of this game. Sometimes you'll do a turn and it will be a quarter turn. Sometimes you'll do a turn that should be a quarter turn, but it will require you to do 2 quarter turns to make a half turn. And sometimes, I don't know, the game just makes things up. So most of this game's movements are memorizing basically the code of turn patterns you need to make in order to not get stuck somewhere on a corner. The most important place for this is going to be the stairs. We'll talk about the stairs in a second, not these stairs. Obviously this is the grand staircase, like the famous Titanic grand staircase with the clock. So we go in through here, open these doors. We don't need to move forward. We just click on Penny. We can escape through her dialogue. I'm just going to X out of her. She walks away. If you X out of her dialogue, you have to start all over again. The most important thing to know about characters is that if they talk to you, it's a failure. You literally do not have to talk to anybody or actually hear their dialogue. So when you click on a character, the screen flashes black before you see the actor's face, because they actually got actors to do these scenes. So when the screen flashes black, you want to hit escape, and that will preemptively stop them from talking, and you'll just get their screen with their dialogue. So I'm going to do that here. So when you watch the black there, and I hit escape and she didn't say anything. So you can do the same thing every time you hit the dialogue. You just click the dialogue and immediately hit escape, and it will stop them from whatever they're going to say. So what did you want to tell me? Stop. Get out of that with escape again. Is this my mission? Escape. Vital. Escape. Which cabin are you in? Escape. Now we've had that conversation. Penny is the first trigger for the ship. You have to talk to her to set up all the rest of the ships. All the rest of the things you have to do on the ship. Nothing is set up. If you walk around the ship, nobody's where they're supposed to be. So now we've basically opened up everything we want to do on the ship to move the story forward. So we're going to open up the map again. We're going to make excessive use of the teleporting capabilities of the map in this run, so we don't actually have to walk anywhere, which is restricted in certain areas, and also when the ship sinks, you can't use this feature, which really is awful. I hate using the stairs. The stairs are bad. So we go back to the staircase, do our quarter turn here, straight forward, quarter turn, forward, forward, quarter turn. And then see, I play this game and I still make mistakes. Go through the door. That was 3/4, I don't know what. That would be 3/4 turns forward, 2/4 turns. Like, I could go on with this. You skip his dialogue again. Yes, I'll go. Skip that. You just mash through escape here. These people don't have anything important to say to you, and you don't want to go with them. What you want is this pipe on the table. So what you're supposed to do here is, this is Zeidel's pipe. Now, Zeidel is a German spy. They're not Nazis yet. This is before the First World War. So he's a spy for the German imperial government, or the Prussian government. So, but he's been down in the Turkish bath, leaving a message for his little cohort, which you saw with him. And what you're supposed to do is take the pipe, because obviously you'd have no way of knowing that he was down in the Turkish bath. You're supposed to take the pipe to the psychic, and the psychic is supposed to tell you, which isn't really psychic, that the pipe is wet or moist or something, and therefore he's been in the Turkish bath. So the pipe basically has set up the message being on the mirror in the Turkish bath, which we're going to go see now. So the Turkish bath is on F deck, right here. We just click on the stairwell. Here it is. We walk through the door, and so the mirror is right here, but there's nothing on the mirror. We have to make the bath steam up. So we turn on the water, and it's not really steaming, but whatever. We go over here. We look at it. So here's this. Oh, it's for Sasha, so it's not actually for Hadelitz. So he's left this message. This tells us that the Rubaiyat, which is a book of poetry, but it doesn't matter that the book is full of poetry. It's what matters is the book is actually jewel encrusted, whatever. It's covered in jewels, so it's worth a lot of money. And they've hid it in boiler room number 3. And if you don't see this message, you can't get into the boiler rooms. So this has opened up the next part of the game for us. When you see this picture, or when you click on the mirror, you can escape out of this so fast that you don't even see this message. I generally don't see this message. That's why I actually didn't remember that it was Sasha he left it for. And then when you exit out of it, the message is gone, and the water turns off for whatever reason. So we're going to second class stairs. We don't need to change the deck, so that makes this super simple. So let's just click over, open the door. We're only moving one step forward. If you hold forward, you will go all the way down this corridor and this is actually Penny's room right here. So movement's really important. What the game does, I cannot stress enough, this game is made or broken on Vera and on movement. So the game seems to preempt your movement choices, not in like any sort of weird way, but like if you're already pressing forward when you go through a door, it will seemingly assume or decide that you have chosen to move forward when you go through the door. So if you're moving, if you tell the game or you input that you want to go right when you're in a corner, it will, or you press forward while you're doing a corner, it will seamlessly move you through the corner. But if you hesitate, you will just stutter through the entire game. So if you do this and keep pressing, it will take you all the way down to the bottom of this hall, even if you didn't want to. So I can move quite rapidly through these stairs, but when you see me go down the second class stairs normally, it's quite a disaster. So here's a place where this should be a half turn, but it's a quarter, it's 2 quarter turns. So what, like, I don't understand why they made that decision. But see here, this like sort of stutters. So if you just sat here and press forward, you just stutter through this game. So this one here, yeah, again, is 2/4 turns. But I'll show you on another catwalk, it's just a 1/2 turn. So maybe they're 2/8 turns. I don't do math, whatever. So I just click all 3 top ones. I find it's quicker, but there's a way you can do it that only click 3 bottom option or 2 options, but you have to move your mouse more, whatever. So here, this is Vera. Welcome to Vera. Know her, love her, hate her. She will make or break your run until you've got her memorized. For the boiler control, you want it to completely cover the arrow. So you don't want this top part showing. You don't want the fin showing. You just want the whole arrow covered. For low, or for the freshwater pump, you want this, I think. See, I'm not even sure all the time. For high, you want the eye covered. See, we're already can go through the door. The goal is to get the to get this switch on the green. If it's barely there, maybe over the 80, this switch is the next recourse. So you can see here it's going further into the green. And that's Vera. So this is what it should look like to get you through the door. So when you click OK, he'll come, say you've done a mighty fine job. You just get him to move. You want him to always move. You open the door. You go through the door to 2/8 turns, I suppose. 2 more 1/8 turns, and this is your quarter. So that one and this is again a quarter turn. So you speed through here, speed through here. When you go through this door, you just want to go as far as this guy. And this is Vlad, who is lovely, just lovely. So you do top, bottom, top, top, and then get out of that. And this is the jewel encrusted book of poetry. If we go back up these stairs, Vlad will shoot us. So we want to hide the book in another coal chute because Vlad is too stupid to think that we've done that. So you just click on the book in the bag, and instead of actually putting it physically into the chute, you just click OK and it will automatically do that for you, which is very nice of the game. But you can see him up here, totally ignorant of what we've just done. Go up the stairs. We can't use the map here. If you take out the map won't let you jump. Jumping to red areas is disabled. You have to get out of the boiler room. And what that's for is that they want you to hide the rubaiyat or get shot. They don't want you to be able to teleport out of the boiler room with the rubaiyat and basically skip those options. So they've made it so that you can't do that. There is one place in the game where you're supposed to make choices and they leave the teleporting option open, which is in Sasha's room when you take the necklace, and you're supposed to replace it with a fake necklace and replace the menorah doll and leave and basically he confronts you when you leave the room, but you if you don't leave the necklace, the fake necklace, he'll shoot you. But you don't have to do that in the speedrun ever, so it's not something you need to worry about. So now we can warp again. Warning, no passengers allowed on this deck has replaced this thing. So we want to go to A deck. Actually, we're going to go talk to Sasha right now. We're going to go to the grand staircase. Sometimes there's a couple of passengers that pop up here. When you do that teleport, you just escape out of their dialogue. So we go down to this cabin. We're going to A14, so that's right here, A14. Knock on the door. And out comes Sasha. So I've cancelled his dialogue. He normally talks there. I'm looking for Mr. Barbican. I'm ready to receive a package for Vlad. And don't click what happened. Just click what will he do in America, because then he'll give you the package and you can just leave. And now we've got the package. So then F deck again. We just go right back down the stairs. So down the stairs we go. We don't have to do Vera again yet, but we will have to fix Vera again later in the game. I don't know what they're paying that engineer for, but he's totally useless. So right now we give Vlad his package. In this particular case, he doesn't talk to you first. So if you hit X, when he comes up to you, you will delete the whole conversation. He'll just walk away, and you'll have to initiate the conversation again. So give him his package, and he leaves. So now we can get the Rubaiyat, and he won't shoot us when we come back up the stairs. Right here. So now we have to leave this area again to teleport. We're gonna go tell Penny that we got the Rubaiyat, which will open up the next part of the game, which is getting the painting. So we just do all these top dialogue options, and that's all we want to do. I don't really, sometimes I pick weird options for whatever reason. Now the C deck telegraph pursers options are like the shittiest part of the game. I really hate this. I've gotten better at it, but it's kind of a crappy crapshoot of series of events. So you go to the purser's office. You see this window. He's behind this window. So you knock on it, and then he talks to you. So you're going to want to hit escape twice to cancel both those actions. So I'll show you what happens. You knock on the door, that slides open, and then he talks to you. So I'm going to escape out of it and do it again. So escape twice, and you skip it all. So you want, what about Mr. Thayer? And then could I help? And then you can just get out of it. Just keep hitting escape, and you just get booted right out of the office, which is great. Hit T to go to the boat deck main staircase. You get very familiar with this spot. We're going through the door. We're going to the boat deck, and then I'm going to beat the D button 4 times to just totally about face. We're going all the way down here 4 times again. We're talking to this guy. So I hate these dialogue options. They switch around on you, so they're never in the same place. If you hit care for a drink, he just stops talking to you. He's a teetotaler. So you want the sea appears calm. You want it's a clear night but dark. Doesn't matter which of these, whatever one. You want, you don't like politics, or you don't care much for bureaucrats. He doesn't care. Either of those options is fine. What war was that is the next option. No wonder moonless nights make you jumpy is the next option you want. And then now can I visit the wireless room is what you want. So you want that whole conversation to go in that order, and then he lets you visit the wireless rooms, which is right here. So this is another sort of bullshit thing that happens in this game. It's just sort of technically annoying. It's not hard. So first you have to turn it on. You can do this out of order too. It doesn't matter. I've done it out of order. You just won't get any lights that tell you you've done things correctly. So you turn on the transmission next. So this is receive telegrams, and this is transmit telegrams. And then we're going to get the frequency to 200, which, god damn, they could have made it 7 or something stupid, but so we're going to have to spin the stupid dial all the way up to 200. When you're trying to do this really quickly, of course you make lots of stupid mistakes. So when this light is flashing, you're golden. So here's the telegram. So here's the paddle, and this is the telegram right here. So let's click on that. If you bring it out, which we're not going to do, and you never do in the run, what they want you to type is arrange for railroad cars to New York for PM departure to Philadelphia, 417 John Thayer. This guy, spoilers, dies when the ship sinks. So he's never going to come for his rail car. So we don't have to feel guilty about it. We're not actually going to type this whole message to him. We're just going to press whatever button. I usually press A because my hand's already sitting on it, and then hit OK. The game thinks you sent the telegraph now. So who cares? His wife and son survived though, so that's fine. So now we're gonna go back to the purser's office and tell him we sent the telegram. I sent Mr. Thayer's telegram. Where's their cabin? He gets uppity. He doesn't want you to tell them that you've done his job. So the whole point of coming down here was we wanted to see the cargo manifest, which he wasn't going to let you look at. And what we want to see is Lemke and Buchner shipping, 1 case of artwork, painting a frame, Barbican galleries. It's on the 2nd page. I just spam click the stupid book and then exit out of it when I run it, so I just generally do and then escape, and then it boots you out of the room. Then you just immediately go back because we're suckers for punishment. Open it up. I need to go into the cargo room. Can I find the cufflink for you? Exit out again. Turn. Go down the stairs. Look at this chair. Here's the cufflink. So that was a super difficult fetch quest. I usually turn and go back up the stairs. You can open the map and teleport up here. I don't think it's faster. I don't necessarily think it's slower. That's just my personal preference. So I found Mr. Strauss's cufflink. He takes it and runs off to get recognition from Mr. Strauss. Strauss is also going to die on the ship, so that's also sad. And I don't know about the purser. So we have the keys to the cargo bay. We're going to go to A deck, grand staircase, straight through this door. Turn, go down the deck, go down these stairs, turn, go down these stairs. This is kind of a tricky movement area. Turn, go into this door. Just cancel through his dialogue. He thinks you're a carter because you have the car keys, and you want this door. It's very easy to overshoot and go too far, but whatever. A note about this room: you can actually get in here from the boiler rooms when you're down there with Vlad, but this door will be locked. And I think that when you want to come in here with the keys, Vlad's... I think this door might be locked, or the engineer doesn't let you into the boiler room. So, yeah. But you're very close to this part of the ship and could get in here. But obviously you need the keys. You turn on this light. For whatever reason, the game decided you can't get into this box if the light's not on. If you turn on the light and you hit escape, it turns the lights off, which is really stupid. And you have to make sure they're all the way on. So I usually wait until there's no lines in the light, like it's just a pure white light. And then you have to click OK. So when you hit the box, it will have a video of you looking over the box's edge. You can just escape out of that. You don't actually have to do the film. You click on the canvas and take it. If you wait too long to come down here, the canvas will be gone. They imply later that either Zeidel took it and then eventually the Irish immigrants get it. I don't know how that happens. Maybe he gives it, I think he gives it to them for some reason. Anyway, you will never have that problem if you're speedrunning this, obviously, because you're just going to do this really quick. I don't actually know how you get this to happen, or I can't remember. I think you really have to screw around to get this canvas to disappear. Like, I don't know how people did it. Anyway, but in order to move the game forward, you have to physically see the frame. You have to look in this box to move the story forward. So even if you were potentially running this game in such a way as you didn't want to get the painting out of the box, you still have to look in this box anyway, which is stupid. And it's faster to just get the painting and give it away to Zeidel as a method of not saving the painting rather than dicking around long enough that someone else gets the painting first, because it takes them an inhumanly long time to come around and swipe it before you do. Alright, so we're gonna leave and just go out the same way we came. Now we'll go to C deck again. We're not going to see the purser, we're going to see Smethers, but we just don't listen to anything he says. But what he's telling us is to go to the very exciting squash court and go fencing. So you go down to C deck or D deck and you go around through this door, down this hallway, and there's a door right here to the squash court. Down the stairs, over here, and squash is super fun. We are just going to mash OK and until the 5th fight, and then we mash escape because we want to get out of there as quickly as possible. The thing about this game is that they wanted to make it fun, and but they didn't want to make it impossible. So they put a lot of fail safes into the game. Like, they built a lot of fail safes into the game. So for this, if you can't beat Halitz at fencing, which it takes 2 rounds to beat him, you could quit and talk to Smethers, and Smethers would give you the ring that you win if you actually had won 2 rounds of fencing with Halitz. So what we're going to do is we're going to lose 1 round of fencing, and Smethers will just give us the ring, which is faster than winning, and you don't have the added horror of actually accidentally losing a round and having to do 3, which is a possibility because this fencing isn't very good. Like, it's just not intuitive, it's not designed very well. So I mean, it's not Wii Sports. So we'll go in here. Kernel is correct, and my foil please, I usually say. So we're just gonna keep mashing all the... This is RNG purely. We just want him to hit us as fast as possible. Sometimes he's quite slow. He makes up his mind to just not poke us with this stick for a long time, but this is quite good. So here I hit escape. You just get booted right at the door. So we go to D deck, first class reception, click on Smethers, and again just escape through his dialogue. Here we have the ring. Because Halitz will reveal in the conversation if we keep fencing with him that he's a great big commie and is actually betraying Zeidel, and wants you to save his communist friends by taking the notebook. How does that work? Because if you do that, you end up killing his communist friends. Poor Zeidel. Or poor Halitz doesn't realize. This is Halitz's girlfriend, so you ask if you recognize the ring, and then you just do these 3 bottom options. You eventually give her the ring. Now we're gonna go see Penny. There's a lot of knocking on doors in this game, and you just have to say, "What do I do now?" And she gives you this pen, and that's all you do here. Halitz is now dead. I know Halitz is dead. May I investigate? Mind if I look around? And they've said yes, which is totally not realistic, but anyway. So he's been fried in the electric bath. So here's dead Halitz. But he's left us a note. Many knots unraveled by the road. Since you haven't played through the game at all, if you're just running this, you don't know, but there's a Scotland road. And if you go through the 2nd class stairs here, there's a rope. So you just have to look at it, get out of it as quickly as possible, and this guy walks up to you. I'm looking for a clue. Please escape out of his dialogue. All you want is his clue. His clue, let's see what it says, because I can't remember. Oh, click on this. But the vine, her ancient ruby yields, and still a garden by the water blows. So... If you know anything about the Titanic, she has a cafe Parisien. My French is so good. Parisien. And you go B deck aft grand staircase. Do not let her talk to you. Daisy will talk to you for the rest of your life. So you want to look at this table, and there's a packet of cigarettes in the wall, which you take. If you go here early, even though he's left these clues for you, but even though Hadelitz is dead, these clues will not be here unless you see that clue that the guy had. So it doesn't make any sense, but there is no jumping the gun on this box of cigarettes, even though Hadelitz's ghost apparently planted it. So that's stupid. Now we go to A deck, aft grand staircase, and we're going to see our friend from the beginning of the game. He doesn't again talk to you. I didn't hit escape, so if you hit escape again, he'll try to walk away. So is this your pack of evolved reds? He says they are. He tells you that he saw Hadelitz in a smokestack on the ship, which allows you to go back down into the boiler rooms. So F deck, second class stairs, back into the bowels of the ship. This is the end game of any percent. If we were running any percent, this would be the last bunch of crap that we have to do. He's saying she's still running rough. My pleasure, I can fix it. It's not really my pleasure, but we can all tell lies in a video game. Again, you cover the arrow. That's probably fine. Is this fine? You click them if you think they're good. I think that that's fine. This one's not. You want to move this switch left. This steering wheel. Anyway, Vera becomes quite quiet when you get her to work properly. Okay, he'll tell you thank you. You tell him fuck off. Now we're going up this set of stairs. We're not going back out here to the boilers. These are the engines. And we're going up these stairs. So he's going to come talk to us. He's very upset. What we're going to do is we're going to kick him in the nuts and then uppercut him. So you'll see me do it a lot. So you kick him in the balls and then immediately punch him. You want that combo. It takes the most health away. Kick him, punch him. Kick him, punch him. You want to actually click his torso, not click his face, because if you click his face, you'll just punch him. You won't uppercut him. And when you get to the bottom of his health bar, like right now, you want to stop and you'll just automatically uppercut him, and he'll just pass out, as you can see. You go up the stairs. Now, as another failsafe, I don't know, as either a failsafe or something they just built into the game, if you go into the menu and you hold shift and press help, it will tell you the maze that the funnel is designed at. So maze 4 is left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. There are 3 other mazes. They are left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, and up, right, right, left, 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 right, left, right, right. And then number 3, which is the most complicated, is up, left. You skip the next right ladder, but you go up the right ladder after that. So then you go right, left, left, right, left. And you can find this on a website. There's a website that has these on it. Also, the direction you turn when you get to the top is only left on number 4, and for the other 3, it's right. So that's the codes for the mazes. And you just get out of this. So you'll see me go up. So this is 4. So you come over here, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left. And then here's the notebook. So you click on the notebook and we're just going to mash escape through this whole conversation. You saw the iceberg. This is when the iceberg hits the ship. So that was just where we switched discs. And I forgot to mention that we switched discs at the beginning, but this is now disc 1 or 2, whichever has a sinking ship on it, but we are now sinking. So Penny's furiously knocking on our door. We're going to let her in again, escape through her whole conversation. So I'm going to show you 100%, the ending for 100%, because it will show you basically everything you would do in a run. But if you were doing any percent, you just get the crap out of this door, go straight upstairs, and find the guy to get off the ship. And that would be the any percent category. Up until this point, every run is the same, which is unfortunate. Worst percent, or the normal historical ending, used to have a different pre-sinking run where you had to get a photograph instead of the Rubaiyat, but that has since changed when I found out that you only had to give away the painting to get that ending, which is faster. So the only two things you have to get to any percent are the Rubaiyat and the painting. Then you just boot her off the boat. Don't worry about anything else. So in order to get, let's see. In order to get Nazi percent, you get the notebook, which I'm going to do next. Then you give up the painting to Zeidel, and then you get the necklace from Vlad. To get nuclear percent or nuke percent, you just give up the painting to Zeidel and you get the necklace from Vlad. And 100%, which we're going to do, requires you to get all the items and then to save everyone, which includes Zeidel, Georgia, Sheila and her baby, and Vlad. So although you save Vlad anyway most of the time, I think you always save Vlad unless you do any percent or worse percent. So, so now we're gonna go get the notebook, which involves getting blown up. So right down here where this corridor is, you see there's a corridor here. There's a room C59. We're just gonna go in here. This is Zeidel's first class room. If you walk all the way in, Zeidel comes in to talk to you. He's got the notebook. He locks you in. So here's the notebook. Just pick it up off the bed. But we can't get out because we don't have the key. Well, the key's in this briefcase. You can X out of that animation. Here's the key. Here is a bomb. Now, I used to be able to figure out this bomb. I used to have the worksheet, but again, with a failsafe, it's actually faster to get blown up and then quit. So what you do is you take the key out, which is now knocked one of these connections off, and it's going to detonate the bomb. So you hit OK, and you blow up. So we have just put another hole in this stupid boat. You can skip the explosion animation, but I just thought it was funny, so I left it. And then we come up with this: try again or give up, which is very stupid. So, and this again shows you all the parts, and there's actually a little helpful info book, and it tells you stuff about things. Anyway, but we don't want to do any of that bullshit. Reading takes time. We just want to give up. So now we can leave. We got the key. We can leave. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Now, if we were going to do any other run except for 100%, we would just dash upstairs this way. Although this is really confusing because this is the hallway to the other exit. If you went this way by accident, it wouldn't be bad. You'd just go straight through and to the grand staircase. But we want to go down this corridor for 100% because we're going to the aft grand staircase to go to the saloon. So we want to go up this side because it will take us straight to the door. This is the door right here. It's the smoking room. And we want to talk to this guy, but first we're going to save the game. And I just have like a file I always save over. So what we're going to do is we're going to gamble the Rubaiyat Oh, I do this every time. We're going to gamble the Rubaiyat for a get off the ship free card, which we're going to give to Zeidel. So we tell them the Rubaiyat. If we lose the Rubaiyat, we have to reload the game because we don't want to lose the book. So, and I'm really terrible at cards, so show cards, hit, stay. You can tell I'm so good at this. Oh no! So he won. I'm gonna X out of this. Open. Open. You don't want this to happen to run. I should have won that. So this is... What would that be? Oh, fuck. He's gonna win again. Yeah. I'm really bad at this shit. Anyway. Open again. At least on my runs I've gotten it on the first try. Two. Oh. There. Okay. And then you just want to X out of it. So now we've got the get on a lifeboat card. So we leave and we just go straight through this door to first class lounge. And we're going to go through this door and we see Hadelit's girlfriend. Shut up. Willie's dead. She knows. Go out to the lifeboats. I don't want to. So she gives her your shawl. She's going to drown on the ship. Whatever. We never see her again. Then we go talk to Zeidel. He tells you that Georgia, who we've never seen, is poisoned. And you give him the painting to get the antidote. Now, we need the painting back. So we're going to give him the card to get the painting back, which is what we just did. Now we're going to leave this way via Psychic to get to the grand staircase. So Georgia's in Sasha's room, which we've already been to, A14. She comes out. Here, drink the antidote. Get to the lifeboats now. And that's that. She's saved. So now we have to go get some stuff from other people. We don't want to go through that door because we might accidentally trigger the people who are going to help us leave. You have to do all this rather quickly. I mean, which you'll do anyway on a speed run because you don't want those people to leave the boat before you get off it. Because we've given away our free card. You want to escape out of everything he says. Now, we're saving everyone, so escape out of what they say, but you want this letter from them. You can get it on the way back up too. So, these stairs are really tricky. At the bottom of the staircase, there's 2 8th turns right here, which are really annoying. I'm much better at these stairs because I do them much more often. So we're going down here. We're not going the whole way down over to Vera. We're just going down these stairs. These stairs are awful. We're going to click on Vlad, and we're just going to do all his top dialogues. He gives you the real necklace, as you can see. So we're going up the stairs, which the world's worst stairs. We don't have to come back down here though. Oh, go back up. So now we're going to go get a baby for the Irish immigrants. The Hackers is their name. Again, we're going to see the sailor and we're just going to escape through everything he says. And he's going to come back and talk to us on the way down and we're going to just do the same. Yeah, this door. She's right here, where she's supposed to be. She got off already. That's not good. Oh no, she's right here. So if you've got that panicky music, she's over here and we're just going to go through the door. It's right here. They can't have kids. That's why they're trying to steal Irish people's babies. When you get to the Hackers, they take you right back up the stairs, thank God. So, and then you want to go right up this hopefully yes. So, and then get on the boat.
Yes, do get in. We so enjoy the company.
And then he says,
Hoist the Lego
hoist the Lego
beam.
beam,
In you go.
in you go. And this is the end of the game. So we've gotten everything. You can skip through all of this, but you can also watch the ship sink if you feel like doing so. Trying to think of if there are other things that I could say about this. There are other combinations of items, like of how to get items. I think this is the fastest way to just do any percent and get the 2 items at the end. You don't want to get stuff by having to engage with other characters besides any percent, because that requires warping to other places, talking to Georgia and things like that. I mean, you really don't want to do anything that requires you to deviate from the required formula to get the game to move forward, really. And then because it's so easy to just get those 2 things at the end of the game, the only problem is those goddamn stairs. Because in order to get some of those objects, like the real necklace, before the ship sinks, is really rather difficult, and you have to set up a whole series of dialogues with between Georgia and her husband and Sasha, and you have to go in and break into his room and all this stuff. And it's quite a bit more to it than just to go down the stairs and get the necklace from Vlad. Depending on what items you don't get when you go to the I'm just turning the sound off for this part. Depending on what you don't get during the game is what Vlad ends up with at the end of the game. So it's just really convenient that he ends up with a necklace if you make it that way. The only thing I think he doesn't end up with is a painting. But he could end up with a notebook. I mean, he does end up with a notebook if you don't give it to Zeidel. Vlad will end up with a notebook. But I mean, it's just as easy to go into Zeidel's room and get it from him. I mean, it's not like you actually have to take apart the bomb. And the bomb isn't really that hard to do anyway. I used to know how to do it, but I can't remember now. There's another ending. Oh, well, yeah. So the endings are the worst ending, what the game would consider the worst ending, which is to end up with where history just happens like normal. Then there's the ending where the Soviets take over Europe, the ending where the Nazis take over Europe, the ending where the Nazis bomb London with a nuclear weapon, and this ending, which is peace on Earth, basically. The best ending. You can do 2 runs of this ending. You can do 100%, which is what I did. I define that as having to get all the items and additionally to save everyone, but you could do it, which I call best percent, best ending percent, where you only get the items. You don't bother to give the antidote to Georgia and or to get the card for Zeidel. Well, I guess you have to because you need to get the painting back. Anyway, you don't worry about saving Georgia and saving the hackers. You just get off the boat as quickly as possible. But yeah, there's another ending, or there's a part of an ending, so it's like an ending 0.5 where you are told that Sheila Hacker and her baby live. But that requires you to not get the painting out of the box. And it is not a full ending. It's just an addition to the ending. So I don't really understand why they went that way. You can save Sheila all you want and the baby, and they never put it in the ending. But if you get the painting from the hacker brother, you get this ending. Anyway, I've never considered it a full ending, so I don't put it within the category of other endings. And these are the credits. So, and then the game kicks you out. So you go back to the start. If you beat the game and don't get the best ending, the game goes back to the menu, the start menu. But if you start a new game, you don't start from the apartment, you start from the ship, from your cabin. When I do all endings, I think that's fine. I start in the apartment, and then all the additional runs, I start from the cabin. I think it's less annoying than fucking around with quitting the game and starting a new game. But that's why I end with 100%, so that I never get booted out of the game prematurely. But when I run standalone runs, I always restart the game. So I quit, I reload the game, and I always start from the apartment. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else. Basically the timings have gotten really fast, I think. I'm pretty confident that I'd be able to do a run of sub 9 for any percent, but I haven't tried it yet. And I think that a lot of the times for the other categories are going to come down soon. I might submit any percent to one of those thingies if I get sub 9, but until then, probably not. Yeah. So that is this. I guess thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, like, PM me on Twitch. I am Gaiabs. Looking forward to hearing from you. It would be nice to have some competition for this. Yeah.